Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. There was something that I've been thinking about, and I think it's really important that we think about this too. And that is, what you see is not necessarily what you get. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about fishing, and I'm talking about the way fishing has become today because of technology and all the different developments of screens and graphs and sonar and so forth. The really top fishermen, they're top fishermen because they're employing this almost to a radical end. They won't even cast in a lot of cases unless they can already see the fish. And most of the time, seeing the fish means looking on their screen, their Garmin or whatever they have, and seeing those fish down in the water. They can even tell how big the fish are. They'll see a group of fish and they'll say, oh, there's the biggest one. I'm going to cast to that one. So being able to find the fish has become, I think, the most important part of modern fishing, especially competitive fishing. Okay, so you can see the fish. I had a number of people that came in to where I was sort of monitoring this Big Bass Tour event, and they come in and they tell me, we could see them out there, but they wouldn't hit. We tried everything and we couldn't get them to hit. Or they would say, well, we tried all the favorite baits, and the only way I could get them was with a little marabou jig. I'm just using that as one of the examples that I heard. But I think it's important to realize this. And that's what makes fishing still a great, wonderful puzzle. Because even though we've got all these new ways to make us a better and better and better fisherman, and heaven forbid, put all these fish at a huge disadvantage, they still have one thing going for them, and that's their internal natural instinct and their brains. And so I'll give you another example about that. Two of my great friends that have won at a lot of these tournaments came into me and they said, we went to our favorite practice spot, and just 2 days ago the fish were hitting there and we didn't get anything this morning. And then they go back in the afternoon and all of a sudden the fish are on the bite. So what does it tell you? The fish will move in and out of places depending on their needs, but also that they don't eat all day long. And something at one point of the day compared to another point of the day can stimulate an aggressive behavior that they will turn on and start hitting for a while. And I think it's important for us that are amateur fishermen, that just go out there to have a great time, to realize that just because we don't get a strike doesn't necessarily mean the fish aren't there, especially if we can't see them. If you're like me and I go out and all I have is my 2 feet to help me wade and my ultralight rod and all kinds of great memories of what helped me catch fish before, I don't use any of these graphs. So this isn't part of what I do. But it helps me to know that if I find a great place, that don't abandon it just because you might go out there one time and not get a strike. Those fish might still be there. And in the case of the St. Lawrence, that seems to be the case often. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.